All right.
They will be participating. This is a terribly important topic tonight, and I'm hoping that you will take notes, ask questions, take resources, and maybe share it with other people you know. I don't know about you, but it is true for me growing up that I found finance to be something that wasn't intuitive. And if you don't grow up in a household where parents talk to you about how to handle credit cards or debt or mortgages or investments, it can be so daunting that you really, it's easier in some ways to maybe never get into it. What I'm excited about tonight is that we're going to do an overview to take a good look at where we are in the state of retirement security locally, around the country, but also to have a panel of experts that can offer tips for you on retirement planning and savings. And the reality is, at this point, a lot of people think this is a personal situation, and it is. It's your personal finances. But the reality is, just recently we saw over half the people age 50 plus have zero retirement. Retirement is becoming less and less of a guaranteed, and while we obviously are fortunate to have Social Security and we have para that's out there, but what it really takes to live with dignity and some kind of comfort as we age is really becoming collectively an economic challenge, honestly, for our whole state and country. And as debt has gone up, money that would have gone into retirement is going into higher cost of things like child care, housing, and dealing with college debt and things like that. So they're obviously all connected, but I'm really excited to have a panel with us tonight that can help us kick off the conversation on where are we in retirement security, get us thinking about retirement planning. The microphone we have there is for you, so be thinking of your questions that you would like to offer for any of the panelists on this once they have finished their presentation. With that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Representative Sue Wrighton, to help us introduce and welcome our panelists here. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Senator. And I may ask Mr. Diaz to move closer to the center if you don't mind, just because the folks over here might have a little bit of difficulty seeing you. And we will begin by introducing Carlos Diaz, who is an investment advisor representative with Transamerica. He has been a financial advisor for over 29 years, and he offers advisory services in regard to pension consulting, financial planning, and portfolio management for businesses and individuals. And so he's going to be talking probably a little bit more about the private sector kinds of investing and retirement plans and what you can do to prepare. And then we have Albert Schnellenbacher Jr., who has been, let's say he has been a witness at many hearings before my committee.
We know him as AW.
Yes, AW has been before the State Veterans and Military Affairs Committee a number of times, and I think probably everybody else's committee who's up here tonight. But he's currently a volunteer with AARP, but he's sharing just his vast knowledge that he gained in over 30 years working on and with the federal Medicare and Medicaid programs. And so he just has a wealth of knowledge and information about those two programs, and certainly, you know, you get this big thick book every year now on Medicare for 2015. And it's like a whole new book from Medicare 2014, and now you have to be a real student, and you have to study and memorize and do all kinds of things. So he's going to tell us how to make that simpler. Right, AW? Sure. Okay. Sure. And we have Ben Moultrie, also is a volunteer with the AARP. He's a trained mathematician and dynamic systems engineer. So he's been a researcher, educator, developer of space technologies and systems, financial planner, and investment advisor representative. And he volunteers regularly with Mile High United Way, and of course he's serving on as a legislative advocate with AARP. And he has also been before our committees down at the Capitol, and always does an excellent job on his testimony. So we have three real experts in the field tonight, and So let's let them give their presentations, and then we will open it up for questions from the audience.
Great, awesome, thanks guys.
Go ahead, Mr. Yes, and you take it away, and we'll just go right down the list if you want to sit or stand, whatever you want to do.
Well, thank you. Thank you, distinguished panelists, representatives of Colorado, members and guests. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. It's an honor for me to be in front of you and have the opportunity to address some issues that are really close to my heart. Like you heard, my name is Carlos Diaz. I have training in engineering and international investments. Been in the industry for 27 plus years. Working with individuals, families, business owners in the areas of college and retirement planning. I believe, and my approach is very unique in the industry in the sense that I help people find money that are losing unknowingly and unnecessarily by becoming efficient with their money. The other thing that I believe is there's more ways to help people avoid losses than just picking the winners. I'm going to ask just briefly, how many of you have kids that are going to go to college? Okay, one. How many of you are 20 plus years to retire? A few of you, okay. How many of you are maybe 10 or less years to retire? Okay, just a few. How many are retired? Good. How many are Social Security recipients? Oh, good, 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 good. Well, I'm going to share some things that over my 27 plus years in the industry, one of the things that you probably have noticed, the time is gone where you could work for 30, 40 years for the company and retire, and the company was going to take care of you. There was a time where there was probably 50 or more workers for one Social Security retired. In the last 20 plus years, things have changed. Companies are phasing out their benefits. Thousands of people daily are knocking the doors of the Social Security with huge financial challenges. And personal savings are wiped out by the downturn of the financial markets. In some cases, 50% and more. Is it okay? Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Okay,
Okay.
static, Carl.
Do you hear me at the back? Okay, good. So those are very heavy challenges nowadays. Company pension plans, Social Security, personal savings gone. So Americans are very much ill-prepared to conquer their financial future. The solution is now where? In their own hands. Nobody else is going to take care of them. And that's a reality. Financial education will help them to achieve financial independence, financial security. Now, another dear issue to my heart is, what about the young? the future leaders of this nation. There's only 40 states in the whole union that require financial education in schools. Only 4 states. There's 24 states that require sex education in schools. Parents, they feel less prepared to give financial advice versus talking about birds and bees. So how long will the blind lead the blind? Who is going to teach young people about the magical power of compounding, the rule of 72, the benefits of savings, the devastating effects of debt, inflation, taxes, avoiding losses from the financial markets? Who is going to do that? We were talking with Senator Carroll about how one of my colleagues promoted this in the state of Utah, and now it's required in the state of Utah. That's the 4th state. The teachers participate, the students participate, the parents participate. It's in the curriculum now. Now, in Colorado, there's a lot of institutions that are educating kids with financial education. With that said, I'm going to share a couple of things to finish up. Do you see this tank here? This tank, this big tank?
Yes.
That represents all the money that we will ever have. It's a limited amount. Example, if there is a 25-year-old that's going to work for 40 years and is going to make an average, let's say $40,000 a year, that's $1.6 million. What about, sir, if I give you a check for $1.6 million, I say, sir, this is all the money that you are going to have in your lifetime. And you look at the check and say, you could be more careful in spending that money, right? So everybody has a personal cash flow model. So we have, we earn income. Comes to this tank, and then it goes to a monthly cash flow. You know, some people receive weekly, some people receive every 2 weeks or a month. And then what happens? Then so money comes from here. Now, who is going to receive a portion of it? The IRS, right? Because you pay taxes, and then it goes to your lifestyle regulator, which determines how much you keep and how much you spend. So it goes to your current lifestyle, and so your money goes into your housing, your groceries, paying your cars, all that. And then the money is gone. Unless you do the following. So you have your money, goes to the monthly cash flow, And it goes all the way up into your investments tank and your savings tank, in such a way that when you are ready to retire, you have enough money in these two tanks that will allow you to live the way you are living today, adjusted for inflation. So you open the valves and money flows so you can live the same way that you're living today, adjusted for inflation. How well are you prepared for your retirement? There's 4 questions, very important questions that everyone serious about their financial future needs to know. This is a 42-year-old. He's going to retire at 65 and he's going to live to 84. He's making $102,000 a year and he has $188,000 in their savings. Saving $6,000 a year, while he's accumulating, gets 5% return, and when he distributes, gets 5%. Inflation is 3%. You know, those are just for the sake of example to give you the concept. Has Social Security, $30,000 a year adjusted for COLA, and it starts at age, let's say, 67 to age 100. So the first thing you can see here is at age 65, this is how much money is in his retirement account. The second number you can see here is the annual income that's going to receive at age 65. Now, you can see that it's different from 102,000, 185, 89,000. What happened there? Inflation. Most people don't take care of inflation. It's there. When I came here to Colorado, I paid, I think, 50 cents for a gallon of gas. How much is now? That's inflation. So the third number is here you can see they're out of money at age 70. I've been in 27 plus years, I've seen hundreds of cases, and this is not a very unique case. It's a common case. So what are the 4 toughest questions that everyone that's serious about their financial future needs to know? Is the first one is, what kind of return I'm going to have on my savings and investments? So when I retire, I have enough money to retire at the same standard of living that I am today, adjusted for inflation. And it will last for my life, long, as long as I live. The second question is, how much I'm going to save monthly or yearly. So when I'm ready to retire, I have enough money on those 2 tanks so I can retire at the same standard of living and my money lasts for my life expectancy. And then the third question is, how long I am going to work? Until what age? Now, you know what is the biggest fear now of people?